Today I'm going to talk about the statistical occurrence of boats hitting bridges and causing them to collapse. This article cites, among many others, that from 1960 to 2015, there were 35 major bridge collapses worldwide due to ship or barge collision, with a total of 340 people unalived, according to a 2018 report from the World Association of Waterborne Transport Infrastructure. 18 of those collapses happened in the United States. Just this year, 3 ships have hit bridges in different countries in just 3 months. Should we be worried? A bridge collapse in Baltimore happened. A bridge in southern China sliced in half, parts of the bridge cutting through the hull of a massive ship in Argentina. These events all happened within the first 3 months of this year, and all after collisions with large commercial ships. These incidents and the toll, with at least 5 people unalived in China and 6 still missing in Baltimore, have highlighted what experts say is the urgent need to improve or protect old bridges to accommodate modern vessels. Referring to the Francis Scott Key Bridge, we need to remember this bridge was built 50 years ago, and the ships at the time were a fraction of the size of what Dolly, the ship that crashed, is today, said Sal Mercogliano, a former merchant mariner and maritime expert. And Dolly isn't even a big container ship. There are much larger vessels that are out there, he added. So in many ways, we have infrastructure that was built for another time. They continue to say there's a very high possibility of collisions. The incident in China took place late February when a cargo ship rammed into Linqingsha Bridge in Pearl River Delta, south of Guangzhou Province, a major international shipping hub and the country's industrial heartland. Though on paper these incidents may look similar, a big ship hitting a bridge, there could be varying factors at play, says Bassam Andraez, a professor of structural engineering at University of Illinois, an expert on bridge collapses. For example, the incident in China appears to show the vessel hitting the body of the bridge rather than its piers, the vertical columns holding up the structure. The ship had a certain height that was ignored, or the river may not have been right for such large vessels. By contrast, in Baltimore, for example, the water channel and the bridge are wide and tall enough to accommodate large vessels, and the cargo ship hit the bridge pier, not the bridge itself. There are different causes for all of these instances, but there is actually now more awareness that there is a possibility, and it's not a slim chance, but a very high possibility, that a vessel would strike part of the bridge, whether it's the pier or the superstructure. When vessels do strike bridge piers, it can be catastrophic because that's the weakest point of the bridge. He pointed to the 1980 collapse of the Sunshine Skyway Bridge in Florida after being hit by a freighter, unaliving 35 people. That incident prompted the engineering transportation community to really look at how to design piers that can withstand that. The need for better infrastructure. There are ways to prevent these kinds of disasters or at least minimize the damage. Additional structures like bumpers can be added to bridges under the water and out of sight, deflecting ships to veer too close. Many ports and waterways also use dolphin structures rooted in the seabed or riverbed extending above the water, typically made from timber or steel. While these are often used as a mooring point for vessels, they can also protect bridges from being hit by ships. Bridges should be built with redundancies in their design so that when one element fails, like a pier that's been hit, other features can bear the load. But even these measures can only do so much in the event of a large cargo ship collision. Preventative measures, the dolphins and barriers around them, were not really designed to stop a vessel of this size, and even when the ship hits those dolphins, the ship was so large it towered over them and actually struck the bridge itself. So there's very little the ship could do to really prevent this from happening once the power went out. Experts say there's a long way to go in improving bridges that were built for smaller vessels in a different era, even with modern regulations and design codes in place. Though newer bridges, especially those crossing wide riverways, may have additional protective structures, bridges in smaller channels or in less developed countries might not. Investigating in infrastructure is critical for the public good, and it's critical to address those aging infrastructure. Aside from improving old bridges for modern requirements, infrastructure needs to be upgraded to keep up with the latest progress in technology. Just as there are advancements in other parts of the transportation industry, high speed rails, autonomous cars, there are new developments in shipping and ports to adopt. It's critical to invest because of the advancements in technology and to keep our economy strong and progressive. There are actually now more and more concerns about the future. Are we still going to do the same old thing in 20, 30, 40 years? We can't, because if we do that, we can't expect different outcomes. So, as far as some of the research that I have done and the many different statistics and articles that I have read, it seems like the ships hitting the bridges this year has been a higher occurrence than normal. But it seems like it's a problem with infrastructure, because a lot of the bridges that have been hit this year are older bridges that were built for a different time with smaller ships and less demand. So at this point this year, it seems like a higher statistic than in the past 40 years. And that's what I've gathered. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, and let me know in the comments what you want me to research for you next. Thanks.